package in the mail, MSX games from Japan. Collecting without fail, those shoot 'em ups, and that's the plan. He doesn't just collect them, he also codes them too. Join us and we'll go on electric adventures with you.
Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with my channel update for October 2018. Time flies when you're having fun. Lots of things on the go this month. Very busy as a family. Most important, my eldest daughter had both her bridal shower and her wedding. So that's the first one of our children who have gotten married. Makes you feel a little older, but also very proud of the person that my daughter has become. And of course we've got a new family member in a new son-in-law. So everything went very well. Everybody enjoyed themselves, and they're off on their honeymoon at the moment. So all went really well. Now on another note, as far as my health is concerned, thank you for everybody who has reached out to me after I indicated that I had some issues. So issues are still ongoing. Possibly noticeable that my neck is really bad at the moment. But on the 22nd of November I'll be going to have surgery on my neck. 3 levels of my vertebrae are going to have various things done to them, between one fusion, one artificial disc, and another one of the discs is going to be trimmed a little bit so it's not pressing on my spinal cord. I will be completely out of action for anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks afterwards, but hopefully it should alleviate a lot of the discomfort and other issues I have because of the whole reason why I'm doing the operation in the first place. Most importantly, that I'll get use of my right arm back properly, which at the moment I've lost most of the function in my right arm. Obviously you can still put it up and wave it, but I've got no strength left in it. I drop things all the time, and let's face it, it hurts a lot. The pain is in my neck is very distracting, so I find it a little hard to concentrate as well. Now as far as leave that behind, that's fine. I'll be fine. I'm going to have the operation. I'll keep you guys advised how I go afterwards, but hopefully it should fix most of my issues and I can move forward. Now partly because I'll be laid up for a while and it was on a half price special from a vendor in the UK, and I'm really not happy with my existing modern system to play old games that I use in the main part of the house. I got a Retro Freak. This is quite literally pretty much half price from is it Retro UK? I can't remember the name of it now. And this is the Pro Edition. So I got sent an email and it said the normal one was on special, but it also included the Pro Edition. The Pro Edition includes the little controller box. Oh, there it is there. It's actually better there. This includes this little controller box here that you can plug the native controllers from. So Retron 5, that's the one I have existing. I've had nothing but problems with my Retron 5. It doesn't play a lot of the games that I have. Always seem to have problems. And I've never been able to apply any of the firmware upgrades that have been made available for it. The website for the Retron 5, the support stuff, is absolute rubbish. And I'm not a non-technical person. My system refuses to update, and I was going to push it because I'm going to bring it, so I just didn't use it. Since installing this, I find this much easier to use, and it just works. And the emulation, I've got it in the front room of my house where I have a plasma TV, and I find the display quite nice. The sound works really well, and it just works. And over the Retron 5, of course, it plays PC Engine games, and I really do like my PC Engine games and have a fair library. And the other thing I like about it is I can put one of my original games in, and then it will save it on the memory card, and I don't have to put the original card game in. Well, I said, you know, I could go and copy a whole of ROMs on there, but I don't. I like playing the games that I have and being able to play them properly. So I can play this with a real PC Engine controller and a game that I own and not have to worry about the media. I've also been playing a few Mega Drive games. I do have occasional Super Nintendo games, or Super Famicom games, seem to be the ones that take me a few tries to load. But that pretty much happens on the real system as well, so the connectors always need cleaning. I haven't really tried much older than that, other than a couple of Game Boy games, because it's got a slot for Game Boy there as well. But really enjoying it, find it really easy to use, and for the price that I got it at, and once again, even the postage from the UK was quite reasonable. And I timed it really right. I did it just before this arrived, like the very first day of October. When I bought this in, which would have been in September, our Australian dollar currency rate was much better. So I was quite happy with the price that I got it. So probably the largest thing I've bought recently, but very, very happy with it. Also, I've had this game in my PS4 library for quite some time. So long that I can't remember where I got it. Well, I finally got it out and started playing it, and I really enjoyed it. And not that I've been looking at buying modern games lately, but then I was at a, I think it was a JB Hi-Fi, which is one of our local electronics stores, and I saw the second one, and it was only $20. Well, it was in a 2 for $40 sale, so I got this one, and then I had to get another game with it. I couldn't actually really find a game that I wanted, but then I noticed they had a copy of this. So Star Wars Battlefront 2 I refused to buy new, because I didn't want to give EA any money for the rubbish game they did. And I said I would buy it when it got under $20. So 2 for $40, it's technically $20, and I've only really got that to play that single player game, a campaign that's supposed to be in it. But I won't be taking part in the multiplayer stuff, because it really doesn't interest me. But I am a Star Wars nut, and I suppose this does complete my Star Wars collection a little bit. We're just going to have to be patient with the rest of everybody until Disney take the Star Wars rights off EA, so somebody else can actually make another Star Wars game that people want to play. But anyway, that's my rant over. Now I do have another couple of pickups, so we may have to go off camera for those couple, so we'll jump to the last one on the list here. I haven't had this very long. I haven't had a chance to do a video on it, and I will do a video on it. But it popped up on, I think one of the my mates from the podcast, Aaron or Gary, popped up a link to this, and it's a SD card for the BBC Micros and BBC Master. So there it is there. It's the Micro SPI from Retro Clinic. It's not very much money at all, and all it does, it plugs into the user port on the bottom of your BBC Model B or Master. I don't have a Master, I've got a Model B. I've got a Master Compact, it doesn't have a user port. And then you put the ROM chip. Has got a picture of that? No, it comes with a ROM chip, so you need to put that ROM chip into your machine. And I bought the one with an SD card, which already comes fully loaded. You turn it on, and it comes up with a menu. Nothing more complicated than that. And there's already heaps of stuff on there. So I've only had a bit of a preliminary play with it, plugged it in, it works, and played games for about 2 hours. It was great fun, and we'll be doing some more. But I'll do an actual video on it for those that are interested, and I'll include links and stuff in that video. But it's not very expensive. I've always had my eye on getting an SD solution for the BBC Micro, but the other ones were, I mean, they were right, but they were just a bit more than I was willing to spend. Whereas this was only, it was really cheap. It was only like £18 or something silly plus postage. So I could be wrong about that. I'll have to look this up. As I said, my brain doesn't work fantastic at the moment of linking stuff together. Which I do apologise for. So, what I'll do, I'll take you off the camera and we'll go and have a look at the other couple of items that I got this month, because there are a couple more. Okay, we are looking at my bench where I have my computer set up and where I access the retro computers. You can see the BBC Micro where I've been playing with it with the SPI card, and here we have a Sony Trinitron. Zoom in for the model. It is a KX-14CP1 RGB monitor. Now it does have quite a nice picture, and most importantly it has many inputs, one of them being RGB SCART, which you can see is the one I've got connected. Now it's not perfect. I'll tell you, it's got a good picture, but the picture does jump, especially once it warms up, so I will need to actually service it and do a replace a couple of caps on it more than likely when that happens. But it's a nice screen, it's a little bit bigger, brighter, and to highlight it, my original monitor that I had there, which was an Amiga, I can't remember the exact model, 1081, only runs for about 5 minutes before it turns off. So obviously I need to fix that one as well, but between these two, at least I've got a monitor that I can use, and while I'm fixing one I can have the other up and running. And the Sony one is probably going to have it's a slightly bigger screen, so it's going to have a slightly better picture. So circling around, there's a cat. We need to come over here to my Coleco area, which is where I've popped this. So this was also given to me by Aaron from Trespawn Podcast. And it is a Coleco Quiz Whiz number 1. So it's a question book. So you've got, and a actual quiz machine. I haven't really tried to get it going. I've got it because it's a Coleco oddity. So this actual unit unplugs from here, and then in here is a cartridge with the questions on it, and the book comes with it. So you bought these as extras, and the first one came with it, and this is the unit. You transport the electronics between the different ones. So it's just a bit of a early Coleco oddity that I like having in my Coleco collection. Other than that, I don't think anything else has changed in the game room. I've currently got the I think it's the 19-in-1 in the horizontal cabinet, Fire Shark in the vertical, and still got the MVS in there. I've still got Gary's NBA Jam. He's come and got it. Oh, a couple more things that I forgot. Movies and TV shows in this particular circumstance. I picked up a copy of Solo, A Star Wars Story on 4K HD Ultra. We watched it on the projector, so just normal Blu-ray, and we enjoyed it probably just as much as we enjoyed it in the pictures. So it is an alright Star Wars movie. It's not the best Star Wars movie in the world, but I still enjoyed it. And I can happily watch that on occasion, I would say, in the future, and still enjoy it. So that was well worth getting. Far better than Last Jedi. And the other media that I got, I've had a copy of Season 2 of Blake 7 on DVD for ages, and I had electronic copies of all the other seasons. But I've had trouble playing them. And I found a really cheap, I think it was like $10 copy of Season 1 of Blake 7, and got that as well, and watched it all the way through again, and I've really enjoyed it, and I'm about to embark on Season 2. Blake 7 is a TV series that I pretty much grew up with. Obviously, for thinking from I mean, I was obviously very young when it was on. I remember I had to get permission from my parents to stay up late when it first came out. But I watched it pretty much from the start and was hooked. I probably watched that. It was more my live show than Star Trek, the original series Star Trek was, because I probably saw those a little bit later on Saturday day TV as repeats later on, whereas Blake 7 I watched live. It used to be on, I think it was like 10 PM of a night on a Friday. And I remember I had to get permission from my parents to let me stay up and watch it. Going back all that time. And I really do like Blake 7. It's really well written. Obviously, it is fairly old, and you know, they just like Doctor Who has wobbly sets. They did the best they could do on the money they had. But it has quite very good stories in it and very strong characters which develop over time. And I've been meaning to go back and watch the series again after Jacqueline Pearce, the actress who played Servalan in the series, passed away recently. And I thought, you know, good to honour her by watching the series again. So I've watched the first season again already, and I'm about to start watching the second season again. And probably when I finish watching the second season, I'll have a hunt around and see if I can get copies of season 3 and 4. So back again. It's got sunny now. Yeah, so that's all for this month. Sorry, this is a little bit disjointed and things like that. But yeah. Anyway, hope everybody out there loves their retro games and their gaming. I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.